Well, with us in the Worry-Free Retirement Studios is Miss Juanita Jackson, who is with Tony Walker Financial. And you've been with us just over a year now, correct, Juanita?
Yes, about a year and a half.
And you came out of the mortgage business and into our financial world. And so how has that transition been, by the way? Have you enjoyed the transition?
It's been a great transition, and kind of seeing both sides of coming from lending and going into saving and watching people live their best lives.
That's great. And we're so fortunate to have you doing a great job in the Schwab department and just moved you to the Louisville office. You enjoying being in Louisville?
It's a great city.
Well, great.
I am enjoying it.
Great. So, okay, I'm not even really sure where to start with this. Our title is Don't Get Scammed. Unfortunately, we've had a few of our clients who've shared with them how people have, let's just call it scam, been able to scam them and been able to get into their bank accounts and things like that. So this concerns me with what's going on in the general public. So I'll just start with some statistics, Juanita. Older adults lose up to $3 billion a year, according to the FBI. Over 200,000 people aged 60 to 69 report fraud complaints to the Federal Trade Commission. Elder fraud abuse is going up. I mean, well, I've got a whole laundry list. We could spend all day with all these statistics, but what do you make of it? And then how are we taking these statistics and this increased level of scamming going on to protect our clients and their money?
Well, it is important, Tony, because we are seeing an uptick of reports. I'm sure we have clients that are part of those statistics. They're experiencing being victims of fraud, both online and by phone. And the problem is that the scammers are getting more and more convincing. They are trying to make friends or be trusted by the individual, and they're falling for it. Unfortunately, they are trusting people, and they're being taken advantage of.
I noticed you said something. You said, well, Tony, that's an interesting statistic as we went over these. Was it 84% they estimate of fraud is not reported?
Right. So those are the statistics we know. There are a lot of people experience the victimization. I'm sure the embarrassment, they perhaps don't turn it in or don't report it or don't know the proper channels to report it. It is important to report it when that happens. Mm-hmm. It helps to protect other people from falling to the same scam.
So I think we decided there's 6 things people can do to try to protect their information or from trying to get scammed by these slick willies out there who are operating. What are some things people can keep in mind?
Well, the first thing is if you receive a communication either by text, phone, internet, and it was unsolicited, you were not expecting this communication, it comes into you unexpectedly, be skeptical. Unlikely that is a legitimate report to you. The best thing to do is to disconnect from that communication and then through the proper channels. For example, the phone number on the back of your credit card, call the agency. Go to your local branch of your bank. Every bank has a fraud department. Ask to speak to the fraud department and tell them what you were told. Report it immediately and then follow the proper channels.
Yeah, we even had a client say that the person that was trying to scam him even told him, now don't go to the bank. What was that one-liner all about?
Absolutely. That was very recent. And the client said that they cautioned them about going to the local branch not to do that because the fraud probably initiated at the local branch and they couldn't trust them. But they could trust the person online. Unfortunately, that was not true.
So at Tony Walker Financial, we try as best we can to take great precautions. What are some of the things we're doing right now to try to protect our clients' money and their identity and making sure that if people call us out of the blue, that these are legit, or if we're calling them even, things they can do to make sure that they're talking with somebody from Tony Walker Financial?
There are a lot of things we're doing, and we're continually layering those precautions to help clients feel safe, and so that we know that we're talking to the client as they call in. So we do have security questions that we ask the clients to answer in person. These aren't things that they email or do online to provide. We see them face to face and they provide those security answers. These are things that they should also not share online, however, because once people have those answers, they don't care about your password. They're just going to change it using your security questions. So those are things that we keep on file, as well as we make we're very careful to identify ourselves. There's a staff sheet that each client has that shows who the staff people are that work here. And then they would know by our name. We'll also identify ourselves by maybe prior appointments, things like that. So they're confident in who we are. If they're not, they should hang up and call back.
I like that advice you give is, yeah, why wouldn't you just, if it just doesn't sound right, we would not be offended by that. If we called, in fact, you told the story of someone, you had not been placed on the staff sheet yet. You were new here, you called them, and how did they respond to that?
I really appreciated that. That is a rare find. This person, I was communicating with them, onboarding or some other information I needed. I'd only been here maybe a month and needed to make that phone call. They asked for my name. I gave them my name. They looked at the staff sheet. They said, "You're not on the staff sheet for Tony Walker Financial." And I immediately transferred them to another staff member to verify my identity. I thank them for that because that's diligent. We've got to be vigilant in making sure we're identifying who we're talking to.
That's great words of advice there. So folks, number one, make sure you're giving the information to the right person or persons. If you're not sure, hang up, log off. Contact those folks directly. Thanks for your time, Juanita.
You're welcome.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like, check out these other clips. And be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button for more videos.